Hello, everybody. My name's Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics 365 MVP. And today on Partner Talks, I have Russ Edelman from Contracts 365. Russ, tell us who you are, what you do, and a little bit about your company.
Sounds fair. So, Rick, first off, thanks for having me on the show. Really excited to be here with you. Name is Russ, last name Edelman, and I'm the founder as well as chief product evangelist here at Contracts 365. So, aside from having a lot of fun running the business, I focus a lot of my energies really thinking about contract management, the futures of, spending time with our customers, understanding where their priorities lie, where they don't. And then also I take a look in terms of what's happening in the industry at large. Lastly, for this year, I'm focused on taking a look at building out a global partner network. So that is current role for today and for the foreseeable future.
Okay, Russ, so let's talk a little bit about the subject itself, contracts management. What is, tell us how you manage contracts for companies and what type of companies do you work with?
Yeah, it's a great question. So we work with companies of all sizes and literally around the world. And so it could be mid-sized to typically enterprise companies. That's what we've been focused in on. And when you think about the world of contract management, we typically say segment it into two different areas. Think about all the activities prior to executing a contract and all the activities post-execution. All right. So for instance, prior to execution, you might be dealing with things such as, hey, what contract am I going to be using? Your contract template, our template, what type of approval process, e-signature, not e-signature. So those are the factors that typically people are worried about. Once you actually sign the contract, then, well, how do you make sure you're actually staying compliant with the contract's obligations? What happens if you've got new tasks or task authorization, statements of work, other work that needs to take place? And those are typically activities. And then underneath all of that, you have an underlying need for a centralized and secure repository, leveraging artificial intelligence to automate the process in different types of capacities, and then integrating with different types of systems, which has been a big focal point for us in the Dynamics company. So I hope that gives you a good sense.
Yeah, and when I looked at your product a couple of weeks ago, you've got a really nice integration with Dynamics 365 Sales CE CRM. Um, why would I use your product instead of just trying to do this in SharePoint?
Well, it's a great question, and we get asked that quite a bit, not just with SharePoint, Power Platform, all sorts of other types of potentially build versus buy solutions. And I think it comes in a few different aspects. So first off, contract management is inherently more complex than a lot of people would anticipate. There are a variety of different processes and steps. There's a need for a complex contract hierarchy that people don't oftentimes take into account. You've got document assembly, you've got all these different facets and components. And when you start to add all the building blocks together, then it becomes a complex process that really becomes a custom dev. So, we've basically taken all of that, packaged into, a fully formed full lifecycle contract management system, and also built out what we refer to as the standard configuration, which allows for companies to start right out of the gate if they would like, with a base setup. Now, frequently, what will happen is customers will say, I need to manage my data one way or another. I have different workflow processes. So we help them to adjust that and automate it within certain guardrails. And that's really the focal point in terms of why the buy strategy has worked really well for us and our customers as compared to the build.
Okay, and I see you're really starting to, build your technology on the Microsoft stack. Let's talk a little bit about the future and where you're taking the product.
Yeah. So, for us, we're fully committed to the Microsoft stack. I think today, I can put hands on heart right here and say we are the only CLM contract lifecycle management vendor that actually covers 4 pillars of the Microsoft cloud. So, very specifically, we designed our product, we architected it as what I refer to as a hybrid SaaS application. And what I mean by that is that it's a full SaaS application that we run and manage on our Azure multi-tenant platform. But what's unique about what we do is we store all of our customers' contracts and their data specifically into their Microsoft 365 tenants. And that allows them to have their own controls, security, single sign-on, all that great stuff. So those are 2 key aspects. Then the other pieces that were really important are, we've really zoned in on specific Dynamics, sales, CE, Power Platform environments. We have just tried to crush it in that area of integration, which is why you saw what you did. And there are just all sorts of different facets to that we've covered on so many different fronts. And we've beaten out, our biggest competitors specifically as a result of our Dynamics integration. And then the fourth piece is we've collaborated with Microsoft pretty extensively in terms of artificial intelligence. So whereas before we were working with something called document intelligence, we've actually switched that out to actually work with Microsoft Azure OpenAI services. And that's coming just out on a regular basis in terms of new capabilities, new features, consistent with what you're seeing in the AI marketplace.
That's great, Russ. Can we talk a little bit about the types of companies that use this product and maybe the size of companies?
Yeah, so it is mid-sized companies, for instance, like ARP is one of our customers. All right, here in the States, we have got companies over in, in Asia, like WeWin, manufacturing companies. So large enterprise global companies, New Balance, Urban Outfitters are using our software. And then we have public utilities, energy companies. So the interesting thing is contract management is applicable for virtually every business out there. Business does business through contracts, and you need to have some sort of sophistication around that process in order to make that more efficient. And that's really what we're delivering day in, day out for our customers.
Hey, Russ, thanks for your time today. Very interesting conversation, and I'm sure the partners and end users that listen to this show are going to reach out to you to talk more about how to manage contracts.
All right, sounds great, Rick. Looking forward to this contact. Alrighty?
Have have a great day, and bye for now.
Okay, take care. You go.